So I was kind of rethinking how I can make my GT programming more useful to the students or more current, more relevant to their lives and what they're doing, and not just an extra project. Some of them over the last couple of years, being that most of my students that I'm working with are overachievers and perfectionists, they've been feeling a lot like, this is like a whole other project that I have to do. And it's like more schoolwork. And I think that's one of the hardest things with gifted students is that often we just give them more work. And even though it was like meaningful to them and fun and interesting to them, when you add it on top of everything they're doing, it just felt like more. And so I wanted to create something that was connected to everyone and not just all these mini side projects that they're doing that are very different from each other, but connected to each other. And so at the end of the year, we can see like, this is what we as a group created, or this is the change that we made for our school and our community. And that was the other aspect that was really important is so far in our school, we have a lot of really affluent kids, and they often don't see what others don't have. They just assume that everyone has the same privileges and the same opportunities that they do. And so at first I was thinking, let's go global. What are we going to fix? What's wrong with the world? And then I realized that we have a lot of issues in our own building that we can be thinking of. So we're going to start there and then hopefully over the years grow, and which is really cool because as the kids grow through the school, then they can see like the year before me, these kids got us recycling. Yeah. So that's a big part that has been lacking in the programming that I've been doing is gifted students have a lot of strengths. And I think we all kind of, as educators, are aware of those and know how to push those or help them with those. But what we don't realize is that they do have some areas where they need support. And a lot of those areas are social emotional learning areas, like dealing with perfectionism. How am I going to get through something that's difficult for me? I've never felt that way before. Everything just comes naturally or is easy, and I can learn things fast, or I can do my work fast. And how are we going to push through those moments? And then also, how are we going to be okay with our work not being perfect? We don't need to spend 45 minutes erasing the page because our writing wasn't going straight across the page. We can be okay with that. And so having really targeted, yeah, me too, having really targeted lessons on that. And so I chose, instead of just going all over the map and saying this is what your parents want you to work on, I've been seeing the last few years that it's mostly perfectionism, organization or executive function, and then also public speaking, because we are going to be presenting our ideas. And so having them be able to practice that within their projects. So those will be the top 3 that we're working on this year. And then next year we'll see, are we feeling good? Do we need to refresh on that? Do we need more practice with that? Or do we need to pick some new skills that we're going to work on and learn about